Hey, what's up guys? It's Cliff from Trail Grid Pro. Real quick video today, but super impactful. We're gonna show you exactly how to maintain your factory microphone location using our provided Sony microphone. Let's get started. All right guys, we have a nice little gadget in prototype right now that holds the Sony microphone in place in your factory microphone location. So that's what we're going to be using today, and that's what we're going to be including in your bundles so that you can do this yourself. All right, so first what we need to do is we need to remove the headliner console right here, and it's actually super easy. There's two Phillips head screws right here inside the sunglass compartment. So we're going to remove those and just make sure you're catching it before it falls down. All right, got it right here. Go ahead and pop that in the cup holder because we're going to need that. And here is the second screw. And again, make sure you're catching this so it doesn't fall someplace you don't want it to go. All right, so you can see here, this back section is a little loose. What's gonna be easy if you have a panel tool or maybe a small flathead screwdriver, you can come into the front and this section will just pop right off. Now we have access to the console and there is a connector here, which we just depress, remove, and we've got the whole console out. All right, so the factory microphone is located right behind this little panel right here. And I'm gonna flip this around just so you can see the back side. This is actually the factory microphone right here. And we can push that, so I'm gonna flip it around just so you can see it. If we push on that, this whole panel is gonna come off, just like that. All right, so that piece is off, and there is another small piece right here that went on. This is the switch that went on that right there. And then the microphone is right here. So let's set aside our two pieces that we took from the console. And then actually the factory microphone has a connector right here. It's white. So we can actually remove the factory microphone. All right guys, so I've laid the console down right here because this is going to be the easiest way to remove the factory microphone. As you can see, there's a connector right here, and if we just depress the tab right there, pops right out. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to reassemble these two pieces back into position. So this is the actual switch here. So we're going to put that on first. And there's a little notch at the bottom of the switch so you know you're orienting it the right way. The notch goes closest to the lights here. So that's into position. And then now we want to put the top piece back on, and there's little tabs here at the bottom. Okay, and get it back into place. Now you want to do a quick check here to make sure that the switch there moves freely, and once you've done that and everything is flush, you know you have it right back in the correct position. Okay, so next you want to have your microphone and the mounting gadget handy right here in the passenger seats, because we're going to flip this over and this is actually going to push right into position. So we're going to go right in behind. Hopefully you can see that. So this is the opening right here, and you're just going to navigate it right into position where the factory microphone was. All right, so I've got that into position. You can see here, one thing that you do want to note when you're doing this is hold pressure on this portion while you are feeding the microphone and the microphone mounting gadget into position so that you don't push out the section right here again. So that's what I've done. So everything's perfect on this side. Switch works. Everything's good, and the microphone is in position. So let's get started on the next steps. All right, so now we're going to set the headliner console up there on the dash, and then now we just need to route the microphone jack along the headliner here, across here. We're going to pull out the weather stripping, so it's going to go all the way down to the floorboard, and we're going to come back up under the steering column and back out in front of the in the back of the head unit. It sounds like a lot, but it's actually pretty easy. So we're going to show you how to do that today. Start routing it up through here. Push down on the headliner a little bit. You can reach your hand on the other side. All right, so I've got that through, so you can see here. And now we're going to flip around to the other side to show you how you can bring it down to the floorboard. All right, so now that we're down here on the floorboard, we're going to be removing this section right here and then this right here. So this actually just lifts right up. It's just pressure There we go. And then this section right here actually has a sort of a dial screw, for lack of a better term, back here, which you'll just want to reach back here and unscrew. And I'll show it to you here in a second. All right, so this is it right here. And it's super easy just to remove. And then that's going to allow you to pull this section right out. And now what we want to do is to get the weather stripping pulled back so that we can run the microphone from here all the way down and underneath the steering column. All right, at this point you want to pull through almost all the excess slack from the microphone. All right, so now that you've pulled most of the slack through, we're actually going to reinstall our console here. And we do that by just making this connection right here. All right, and you can kind of pull some of the slack from the microphone through as you're guiding this into position. Don't pull too hard. All right, so that just snaps into place. And now we're going to put our screws back into position. There's screw number 1 and screw number 2. By the way, while you have this removed, it is a great time to change all your lights to LED, since it'll already be removed. All right, so that's all back in position. So now let's continue with routing the wire. All right, so now we're gonna start guiding this wire through here. What I recommend once you get to this position is hold the wire right here up in the corner and then open this panel slightly. We're not taking this panel off. Now, what's very important here is that there's an airbag behind here. So you wanna be super ginger in this area. Do not take this whole panel off. Once we get to this point, we can pull some of the slack and we can use a panel tool to guide the wire down. All right, so we've got that all into place. So it looks super clean, don't see anything. So let's continue. All right, at this point, it's pretty simple. We're just gonna be guiding this wire. Again, be careful through here. We're just tucking it back, no heavy pressure or anything. And we're just routing the wire down here. It's gonna be behind the weather stripping. And to hold it in place, just start putting the weather stripping back into place as you're guiding this down. And then here's the wire right here, which we're guiding down. There's a piece right here. We can just hook it right underneath, put all the stripping back into place. And now we have our wire ready right here, which is ready to route underneath the steering column and back up behind the head unit, just like we did previously. So pretty straightforward. We're just gonna put everything back together right here and then continue with the install. All right, guys, so I'm still down here near the floorboard. We've got the microphone jack here. First, what I'm gonna do is, to get it from right here, I'm gonna bring it out right here under the steering column, and you take one hand and wrap it right underneath here under the steering column and grab it with your other hand. Which I've done right there, okay? So now pull the excess slack through. We will clean this up underneath here just to ensure it doesn't fall down. But now, pop up into the vehicle. Okay, so now we're up here, and essentially what we need to do is bring the jack across to here. So now we've got the microphone jack here. Like in the other videos, we're using a hemostat to be able to guide it behind this section right here and come out behind the head unit. I've heard of guys taping it to a long screwdriver, whatever works for you. Some guys' hands, they can reach back behind there and do it. I can't do that. We're gonna use our hemostats to be able to reach from this side and grab the microphone jack so we can pull it through. So let's go ahead and do that. So you're gonna guide the hemostat through to right in here to come out near the steering column so I can see it here. I'm gonna grab the microphone and I'm gonna pull it through. All right, cool. There we go, and just go ahead and pull that excess slack through. All right, and at this point, your microphone is ready for your install. We've got it installed here, right in the factory position. We've got it routed through the headliner, down the A-pillar, down to the floorboard, up underneath the steering column, back behind the head unit. And now this is super factory. A lot of you guys have been asking for a different place to mount the microphone. There you go. As always, guys, we appreciate you watching. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave in the comment below or visit us at www.trailgridpro.com. Have a blast out there.